Hey, it is Camille Shanae here. I made my video about the Capitol riots with my sister. We forgot to mention a couple things, and I hate that I'm making the new video 10 days later. But let me just go ahead and bring this up because I wanted to bring up the officer that got killed. I did forget to mention that. His name was Brian Sicknick. He was his partner talked about him, about at the 1 year mark. He brought that up, so I do hate that we forgot to mention that. And I'm going to say that man's name. His name was Brian Sicknick, and he did not deserve to die that day. And those same people who went and did that, those were more likely the same people who kept saying Blue Lives Matter or All Lives Matter every time the words Black Lives Matter were said. But y'all went there and took an officer's life. That's what y'all did. And I found this out just now, too. The officer who shot that woman, that was a black man. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. That is a black man. I was very surprised by that just now. His name is Michael Byrd. And I'm going to just read a little bit what he said, because he didn't start talking to people. He stayed hidden. Him being a black officer who fatally shot a white woman, he stayed under the radar as best as he could, because you saw that whole thing. People were trying to say, ooh, say her name. And that angered me. I did say that part, but that angered me when people want to try to use that whole say her name. Like, no, this is not Breonna Taylor. We're not doing that. Y'all are not fit to sit here and be some damn crybabies for a woman who was breaking the law. Donald Trump just had a rally in Arizona on the 15th. Today is the 17th. And he said he was an out-of-control dope, talking about Michael Byrd. He was an out-of-control dope, and that he must be in conspiracy with the Democratic Party. Bruh, that lady was climbing through a fucking window coming after people. And he stood there with the gun and said, stop, stop, stop. And she came through the window anyway. She tweeted that morning saying, DC, we're coming for you. You can try and stop us, but we're coming. This bitch woke up and chose violence. That's the best way to say that. That is, she woke up. She for real deal woke up and chose violence. And y'all gonna try to sit here and use that whole, ooh, say her name, justice for... If this is not breaking the law, I don't know what is. Literally came there and chose violence. Everybody did. Nobody cared about nobody. And y'all want to try to sit here and get mad when the police did their jobs? And then Donald Trump had the nerve to say if it was the other way around, it's been the other way around. It's been the other way around. It's been the other way around for the past 200 years. What are you talking about? It's always been the other way around. Now it finally is the other way around. But for good reason. Here's what he said. Here's what he talked about. He said, once we barricaded the doors, we were essentially trapped where we were. Byrd said in an exclusive interview with NBC News, Lester Holt, speaking publicly for the first time since the riot. This was back in August of 2021, so he basically sat there and kept quiet for 7 months because he went through a lot. Because was people saw his face, they found out who he was and all that stuff. So there was no way to retreat, no other way to get out. If they get through that door, they're into the House of Chamber and upon the members of Congress, added Byrd, who gave NBC News permission to use his name after authorities had declined to release it. If they get through that door and they're into the House of Chamber and upon members of Congress, this is the job that he signed up for. It's the job that he said, I'm going to protect y'all. They were literally backed into a corner with no other way out. So if these people come in there, they were locked and loaded. They had no choice. They were in a situation where we got to do what we got to do. Byrd's only connection to the outside and inside the building was his police radio. For several minutes, it crackled with a cascade of alarming messages. So they were scared. They had to play it off like they wasn't scared, but they were terrified. But they had to protect these members of Congress because that's what their job was. There were shouts of officers down, screams from his colleagues under attack by rioters with chemical agents, and a report that an officer's fingerprints were blown off. Dang! It was literally broadcasted over the air, Byrd said. I said, okay, this is getting serious. Like, yeah. Then they got pictures of what everything looks like, and it's just, these videos are crazy, man. These videos are crazy. Sorry. Soon a horde of demonstrators arrived. Byrd, a 28-year veteran of the Capitol Police, took a defensive posture with his gun drawn as rioters smashed the glass doors. He said he yelled repeatedly for them to get back, but the mob kept pressing forward, and then a lone rioter tried to climb through one of the doors. What happened next was captured on video. Yeah, it was all over Twitter. I saw the video. Byrd fired one shot. One shot. Striking in the shoulder. The person he shot was 35 years old. She was an Air Force veteran. It doesn't say long, but I know all over Twitter. She was a 14-year veteran. She deserves respect. Like, bruh, she was the definition of breaking the law. This definition of breaking the law. Y'all want to sit here, like I said, an old former co-worker. She tried to sit here and justify Breonna Taylor's murder. And then she got cussed out and blocked off of Twitter because of that. But y'all can defend this. A woman at home in her bed sleeping. We can justify that. But we gonna defend this. This is the fucked up world that we live in. That a black woman at home in her bed sleep. That a black woman at home babysitting her nephew can get shot. And we can justify those. But this woman breaking the law, a police officer pointing a gun at her saying, stop, stop. She does not listen. She gets shot. We want to sit here and say she was murdered. She was unjustly killed. And she was breaking the law in the most clearest cut way. I saw that video. There is no defending her actions in no way, shape, or form. She should have complied, right? Ooh, I'm getting hot, trying to calm down, but here it is. For Byrd, who is black, the incident turned his life upside down. He has been in hiding for months, and after receiving a flood of death threats and racist attacks that started with his name leaked into the right-wing websites. But in this interview with Holt, Byrd said that he has no doubt that he made the right decision in the light of the circumstances. He did. What was he supposed to do? What was he supposed to do? Then all them right-wingers wanted to sit here and say, defund the police, better training, all this other shit. Really? So, with that being said, George Floyd's death, that was unjustified, right? There's no... That officer was wrong. He needs to be in jail, correct? Breonna Taylor, that was unjustified, right? That officer needs to be in jail, correct? Everybody who were murdered by cops, those all cases need to be reopened, right? Right? Yeah, these people are a trip. And look, here's what he said. He said, I know that day I saved countless lives. I know members of Congress, as well as my fellow officers and staff, were in jeopardy and in serious danger, and that's my job. And kudos to you. And I can't believe it's a whole year later, and I'm just not finding out this was a black man, because all I saw was the gun. I didn't see a face. His face was hidden behind the door because he's in the back corner, trying to protect everybody. So I never saw his face. And again, that video is pretty gruesome. It's just, I didn't want to watch no further than what I saw. So it's crazy. And for Donald Trump to have that rally just 2 days ago, and he's ranting. We've had more problems. We've had more deconstruction with the last 5 presidents put together in the last year, he said in the Save America rally. Bruh, you literally told your followers to go after one of the biggest government buildings, and you're still not defending that. It's a year later, and he still hasn't taken accountability for that. That's what I meant, not defending. No, he's still defending his actions. Let me rephrase that. He's still defending his actions. You're still defending your actions a year later. He is not taking accountability a year later. But you're going to call the man who was protecting other government officials an out-of-control dope. And you're a big crybaby who lost the fight. You a big crybaby who lost a race, and you told other people to go basically beat up everybody else because you lost. That's what you did. Rest in peace, Brian Sicknick and Officer Michael Byrd. He's Lieutenant. A 28-year veteran, Lieutenant Michael Byrd. I hope things get better for you. It is a year later, and Congress, as well as my fellow officers and staff, were in jeopardy and in serious danger, and that's my job. Kudos to you, sir. Thank you for doing your job.